and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 22nd. I'm Catherine Halecko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week we continued with Season 2 of Only Murders in the Building and Season 1 of Rutherford Falls. So Only Murders in the Building, as predicted, this was the second to last episode, so they really had to start the
episode in which they remembered, oh yeah, Shirley MacLaine was in this, and so was Tina Fey. That previously on, for a second I thought, did they accidentally do one from last season?
Right. It had a lot of stuff in it from the past.
Yes. They followed the breadcrumbs way, way back and are starting off on a different path.
Right.
And, okay.
I kept thinking, I wonder how the real Cinda Canning, whose name is Sarah Koenig, I wonder how she feels about this.
But you got your plot developments from out of left field here. And alrighty. I mean, I figured after last week that glitter-ear guy was not the murderer, but only the stooge for somebody.
Right.
But did not think of that.
No.
That's something I didn't think of. And it's fun as heck. It really is fun. And her assistant being the person from Oklahoma who is the subject of her first podcast, really fun, except it does not jibe with what we've seen of her previously.
The assistant.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Because we saw her in the first season, and she was just sort of the helpful assistant suggesting things. And then this one, I mean, I don't know why she would have been... She seemed to have a much... I don't know. If she was in fact this hidden person, why she would have been asking Cinda for a promotion and Cinda would have been slapping her down and stuff.
Right.
It just doesn't... It seems like they said, oh, okay, we got this character we can do something with.
Right.
And, it's fun. It's fine. This is not... I'm not expecting a closely plotted, absolutely credible situation here, but still. It's too bad because I liked that character. And here she is back, but different.
Which one? Tina Fey's character or the assistant? Okay.
So, okay, fine. And, Tina Fey as a criminal mastermind is fine.
I'm sure she enjoys that.
Oh, you mean I'm in another episode? You remembered that I'm in the show? Hey! Cool. I'll be the bad guy.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, and we had each person kind of pursuing a different thread, with Mabel. Was it a good idea for her to just march into some random boxing gym and start harassing this detective? I don't know. That just seemed unwise, but okay.
Yeah, well, she's not always I
mean, it was a public place, but...
Yes, well, that's true, I guess. And he does seem to be, basically at heart kind of a doofus, so...
and then Charles figuring out...
Yes, and also contacting this person without anybody else being around.
Right.
But Shirley MacLaine, without all the elderly New Yorker drag. Still looks good.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was a fun twist.
Yes, that was very fun. And it was...
And it was prompted by the birdcage.
Yes.
By Charles and Oliver fighting over the stupid bird.
The original painting comes out.
Yes.
Presumably with another floor above it, right? The bird was not pooping on the painting.
No, it was like a shelf underneath the bird cage.
I was a little worried about it for a minute. It's like, that's where you put the precious painting. Under the bird.
Right.
No newspapers or anything. It seemed to be in good shape.
It was another little storage area underneath.
All those things we said last week that they had forgotten, I think they've produced most of them, except for Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
For the finale.
Right.
It's really her. She's pulling syndicating strings. I don't know. I also was after last week devising all sorts of possibilities for Howard's new love interest to be, in fact, involved in some way. Because
it did seem too good to be true.
Linked, and it seemed too good to be true. And I have a hard time thinking that guy's dance card isn't pretty full and he's going after Howard.
Right.
So, well, not really going after him, but allowing himself to be gone after. So I thought he's going to turn out to be something. I mean, he's on the Who Killed Bunny Folger website, so we can consider him.
I'm surprised we're not on that website.
There's a second page. If you swipe, everybody is on there. The waiter at the deli, all of the people in the fan club, not just Marv of the tunnels, but all of them.
Every single one.
So.
And Andrea Martin, who got
is she still
3 minutes?
Never going to be on again? Was she just have that one scene? I saw articles. Andrea Martin's going to be on this season. Oh, excellent! So perhaps she is the real criminal mastermind. She just works so far behind the scenes that we don't get to see her.
Right.
She will be the mystery woman. And I guess we're trusting Teddy now. Are we trusting Teddy now?
I guess. I mean,
Oliver seems to be trusting Teddy now.
It does seem like a terrible idea for all the parents to agree that they're not going to tell the son the truth. Like, this never works, you guys. Never.
And it also seems a bad idea for Oliver to ask the person who has vowed to bleep with him to do anything. Right. Because one would think he would do exactly the opposite.
Right.
Anyway, it's just, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
However, there's only one episode left, and they've got a lot of work to do. So possibly,
yes, I don't think they'll be. I don't think they'll be returning to that at least this season.
Yes, that's true. For future seasons, absolutely.
Right.
It's just a little thread out there blowing in the wind. But I am glad that he finally called his ex-wife and asked, what up with this?
Right.
Which is what he should have done first and saved himself the money of the DNA test.
The DNA test.
And sweet that his son believes him, but probably not. But still.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, it was a very sweet scene.
That was a very sweet scene.
Between them.
Even though it's a lie.
Right. It's all based on lies.
This is why, children, we just stay away from those DNA tests. Because sometimes you find out things you really didn't want to know.
You really didn't want to know. Yeah, and if your child's school project involves a DNA test, it's time to just take the F.
That is a fantastically bad idea to whatever teacher thought that was smart.
Right.
No.
No, do not.
Yes. Time to pull out of that school, kids. I don't know. Somebody's up to no good. But anyway, so Alice made an appearance. See, they listened to us last week. I'm sure they were just still producing the episode as they heard our week. No, it had already come out by the time we were. Oh, well. But yes, I guess we weren't the only ones thinking that, hey, remember Alice?
Right.
Whatever happened to Alice? So Alice turns up, all contrite.
She turns up and she, drops a clue, so where did she get that information? How did, this is...
Well, theoretically, I mean, I would guess that maybe the whole thing she was doing of recreating the murder was something that Cinda put her up to.
Oh, yeah.
For something that Cinda's doing.
Mm-hmm. Could be, for sure.
So, and therefore she knew, but why she would know it was that particular podcast, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Had Cinda done other podcasts other than...
I don't know.
But,
that's the one that brought the three heroes together.
That's right. You got to watch us podcasters. We're super shady.
Right.
We just sometimes orchestrate things just so we have something to talk about.
Right.
In our case, not murder so much as, oh my gosh, what can we talk about this week? Well, why don't we?
Right.
Here, I'll knock this thing over so we can talk about
how it broke.
But still.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, well, that out of left field, but fine. We don't trust her. We don't like her.
We knew that would be the case, right?
Yes.
For the last couple episodes having...
If she seduced Michael Rappaport just to make this happen, then, wow. The ways we suffer for our art, right, Cinda?
Oh, dear. Well, we will find out as you're listening to this. Tonight is the finale. So
yes, and it's already dropped by the time you're listening. Well, if you're listening to this right at midnight when we dropped, then the episode is not dropped yet, but probably.
Yes.
So, but we're sure you're listening to us first, so you're ready. You're primed.
You'll have a week to think about it before we come back with our final thoughts next week. But before that, we're going to talk about Rutherford Falls.
Yeah.
So this was season 1, episode 7, called Rutherford Inc.
There are 3 episodes to go after this.
Correct. This is also a 10 episode.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I'm still disappointed by the caliber of Rutherford Inc. lawyers. They still seem kind of non-threatening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Terry is a clever dude.
Yes.
But I would think the best, the best legal counsel for a large corporation would have something more threatening in their arsenal.
Right.
No? I mean, these guys they make a nice arrival on the helicopter and everything.
Right.
But they still seem kind of easily rattled.
Right. Well, and also, the PR lady is kind of leading the whole thing, which seems unlikely, but okay.
Was that the PR lady? I thought that was just a lady lawyer. Okay.
No, that was the
matching
PR.
Suits.
That was Caitlin, the PR person. Yeah.
Shutting it down nicely. So. Poor Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, in this episode, just continue, not likable at all. And they really haven't done the work to make us believe that he and Reagan are, lifelong friends.
Right.
Why
She is so appealing and sympathetic. And he is such a doofus.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like, what is this?
Right.
And I mean, she has she has Josh pointing this out, and I guess she realizes it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess she's finally getting some self-confidence. And but it's still, the nature of Nathan and Regan's relationship is never been established. I mean, the basis of it has never been established. I don't think. Other than that, they've known each other since childhood, which seems to me to be unlikely. They still have that problem. They still haven't explained that away. But
I just, I guess the idea is that, she's insecure and, she's had sort of been almost shunned by the tribe because of her.
But that wasn't until she was an adult and she didn't marry somebody.
Right. Yeah. So that whole central relationship is suffering. It's not working. And, the way Nathan acted in this episode was really just, he was horrible.
Yes.
And, I thought he was supposed to be a little more likable than that.
They turned up the punching bag on this one a little bit too far, I think. So, and also, wasn't he a few episodes ago going to get rid of the museum and buy his brother's house?
Yeah, he talked about that too. But the problem is that the museum, the house is not in. I think he was going to do both.
Was he going to do both? I thought because I thought his brother said, "You're pathetic," in a nice way.
Right.
You've devoted your entire life to this,
Because the brother's house is not in... I don't think it's not in Rutherford Falls. No. So, but I mean, on the same vein, like, could he not just ask the Minneshanka to sell him the house and the land that the house was on?
Well, he could, but would they?
I don't know, but I mean, like, it just seems like there is a solution here or a compromise to be made, and everyone's just assuming that, because once the Minneshanka have a big tract of land,
you have to assume that Terry drew his lines to include that.
Right.
Is what I would assume, and therefore he would not be necessarily amenable.
Right.
Or I don't know. Well, it's would be a very good thing for Nathan to just leave town and do something else.
Figure out something else to do
for
with yourself,
all
please.
Concerned.
Yeah.
So now he and the mayor are going to be in cahoots somehow, which seems like a really bad idea.
Right. Well, especially because it's been established that he is hammered on mulled wine. So when the mayor comes to talk to him, he's in no fit state to discuss anything.
Yes.
So I guess that was part of the excuse for why he was being so awful to Reagan, but...
I guess. But it's not the first time he's been, so...
Right.
Not realizing it, not intending it, but just...
Well, and similar to the, why can't they just... I mean, Reagan could go to the aunt herself.
Yes.
She doesn't need Nathan. In fact, Nathan is... The aunt can't stand him. So if she just went there by herself, like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but there's a bunch of Minneshanka stuff. Would you let me have it?
She would say you can have them when I die.
Right.
Yeah.
She could have just taken them. Well, she did say that in the episode. The aunt would have never known the difference if she just...
There's a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda in the show. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That it's obviously the way it is for plot needs.
Right.
And, okay. Let's see where this goes.
That's right. So...
if this show, I mean, I like Ed Helms just fine. If this show next season had Reagan as the main protagonist, and that I would be absolutely cool with that. Right. A little cameo from Nathan every so often, and other than that, it's the Reagan show. That'd be cool. Though I don't.
Since Ed Helms is an executive producer on the show.
Lay back and executive produce, my man.
Right,
don't feel the need to act in this project. Just tell people where to stand. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a director. Yeah. Just pay people's paychecks.
Right. Just show me the money.
Like you just fine, but this character, not so much.
Yeah. No.
Or they need to turn the humanity dial a little to the center.
Right. Yeah. So, well, we will see.
Yes.
So next week, as we mentioned, Only Murders in the Building is going to be the season finale. It's called I Know Who Did It.
What else will they pull out of their bag of tricks, do you suppose?
Yeah.
Jan escaped from prison. Stabbed Bunny, went back in, escaped again.
Right.
Did all this other stuff.
Yeah. So we will check that out. And Rutherford Falls, it's called Skoden, Skoden. I'm not sure what that means, but we shall watch that.
Does not look promising, but okay.
And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.